So note down the next problem. Find an approximate value of. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Find an approximate value of square root of 12. Not by calculator directly. Okay. So tell me, how do you do this problem? First of all, how the calculator is giving root 12 value? So how do we start with?
X square is equals to 12.
So we don't know the root value root value exactly. So assume that its value is x. Then if you take square on both sides, x square equal to 12. This implies that x square minus 12 equal to 0. So that means it is in the form f of x equal to 0. Now can we apply Newton-Raphson method for this? Newton-Raphson method is to find out a root of the equation. This is not an equation, this is just a number. You understand? So from this we are finding an equation for which root 12 is a positive root. Am I right? So let f of x equal to x square minus 12. Okay. So we know root 12 is in between 3 to 4 because 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16. Okay. So f of x equal to x square minus 12, f dash of x is equals to 2x. Okay. So apply Newton-Raphson method. With shall we take x naught equal to 3.5?
Yes, sir.
3.5. Okay. So xn plus 1 is equals to xn minus f of xn by f dash of xn n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay. So now you find out x1. x1 is x naught minus f of x naught by f dash of x naught. Or you can write like this, or you can simplify these things here, and then you can write down that formula. Shall we do like that? So that means what I'm trying to say is, so can we write it as xn minus, what is f of xn? Xn square minus 12 by 2xn. Shall we write like this? Okay. So then it would be 2xn square minus xn square plus 12 by 2xn. So this is xn square plus 12 by 2xn. Is that fine? So this is an iterative formula to find out the sequence of approximations. Okay. So give x1. x1 is x naught square plus 12 by 2x naught. That means 3.5 square plus 12 by 2 into 3.5, which is 7. So what is its value? Please compute. Are you there?
Three point 4642.
X2.
3.46410.
3.4. I think we are trying to write 5 decimals. No. What is x1 value when rounded to 5 decimals? 4, 6,
429.
4 to 9. Then what will be x2? What is x2 value?
3.46410.
46410. I think should be able to tell the answers little more quickly.
We're getting the same for X3.
3.46410. Okay. So therefore, an approximate value. So this is an important problem in examination point of view. Instead of root 12, they may ask root 17. Instead of square root, they may ask a cube roots, okay, or fourth root, anything, right? The technique is same. If it is cube root, then you will take it as x and you will take cube on both sides. If it is kth root, you will consider that as k and you take power k on both sides. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now general problem. Okay. Some iteration formulas you may have to derive. Find Newton's iterative formula. Newton's iterative formula for square root of n. So suppose if the general problem is like this, okay, n can be any number, any natural number. How do you write down the formula? You will be assuming that square root of n equal to x square equal to n. This implies that x square minus n equal to 0. So we will assume that f of x equal to x square minus n. Okay. So then f dash of x is equals to 2x. Okay. If f dash of x equal to 2x. Okay. So then what is the Newton-Raphson method? By Newton-Raphson method, xn plus 1 is equals to xn minus f of xn by f dash of xn. Okay. So this is equals to xn minus, what is f of xn? Xn square minus n by 2xn. Okay, you simplify this. So this is just we did whatever we did like this, 2xn square minus xn square minus n by 2xn. So this is xn square minus this is plus, right? Xn square plus n by 2xn. You can write like this, or some people take 1 by 2 common and divide 1 by 2 times xn plus n by xn. This is the Newton's iterative formula to compute square root of n. Okay, n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. You may be asked to derive the Newton's iterative formula for square root of n. Shall I give some homework problems?
Yes, sir.
Derive Newton's iterative formula for the following. Kth root of n. Generalization. Instead of square root, it is kth root of n, and 1 by n, 1 by n, 1 by root n. I think if you can find out iterative formula for kth root of n, I think when you put k equal to minus 1, you may get this. If you put k equal to minus 1 by 2, you may get this. Are these two not particular cases of this?
Yes.
Okay. So try to derive a general formula for the kth root of n using Newton's iterative method. Okay. Just let us do one more problem and stop. Okay. Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Using Newton's method. Use Newton's method. Use Newton's method to find the smallest positive root. To find the smallest positive root of the equation. Positive root of the equation tan x equal to x. Tan x equal to x. You're asked to find out this smallest positive root. How do you do that? Tell me. So first of all, what is your function? So how do you rewrite this? Am I right? What is the root of this equation? What is the root of this equation? Can you tell me?
0.
0. Okay, so but 0 is not a positive root, right? So you just find out the first positive root, that is going to be the smallest positive root. Am I right? So you just prepare a table and see where the sign is changing. Okay, x values and f of x values. 0, you may give some values like this: 0, pi by 4, and pi by 2 will be infinity, right? And 3 pi by 4, something like this. If for 0, 0, or pi by 4, 1. What is 1 minus pi by 4? Positive, huh?
Yes, sir.
Positive. When this is positive, tan pi by 2 is also infinity, plus infinity. Plus infinity minus finite quantity is again positive. What about 3 pi by 4? Negative, huh?
Negative.
Is this negative? Yes, minus 1. This is negative, and minus 3 pi by 4 negative. So that means there is a root in between pi by 4 and 3 pi by 4. Am I right? Sorry. You cannot say, but this is a discontinuous. This is discontinuous at pi by 2, right? That is what the problem. Okay, the function is having opposite signs between pi by 4 and 3 by 4. That doesn't mean that there is a root in between pi by 4 and 3 pi by 4, because there is a point of discontinuity at x equal to pi by 2. Did you realize this point?
Yes.
Okay, so you cannot say this. Pi by 2 is infinity. You should write like this. At pi by 2 it is plus infinity. And you take any number greater than pi by 2, you are going to get a negative value. Do you agree? If you take 91 degrees, okay, okay, so you are telling 3 pi by 4 negative. Negative. What about pi? Tan pi is 0. Am I right?
Yes.
0 minus pi, again negative. What about 5 pi by 4? All silver teacups. Pi plus pi by 4.
Negative.
Huh? Negative.
Minus
Okay.
x is less.
Okay. Okay. What about 6 pi by 4? That means 3 pi by 2. Or any value less than 3 pi by 2. So pi by 2 is discontinuity. Again, discontinuity occurs at 3 pi by 2. You take 3 pi by 2 means what? 270 degrees, no? So less than 270 degrees you see once. I think you will get any number less than 270 degrees. I think it will be positive, right? Because 3 pi by see 3 pi by 4 means it is going to be infinity. It is going at 3 pi by 2 it is going to be infinity again. Infinity minus positive is positive only, no? I think for less than 225 to 270, I think you will get a positive value. Am I right? Please see. Am I right? This
Yes, sir.
at 3 by 2 it is
Sir, your voice is
discontinuity.
breaking, sir.
Can you please tell me what you are telling?
Your voice
Voice
is
is breaking.
breaking, sir.
Okay. So I think the root lies in between pi 5 pi by 4 and 3 pi by 2. Am I right? Because in the open interval, if you take so this is 5 pi by 4, this is 3 pi by 2. It's an open interval. You take any subinterval in between these two. Okay. So the root lies in this interval. So you start with some point in between these two. Okay, you start with some value in between 5 pi by 4 and 3 pi by 2. Okay, then you start your sequence of approximations. Okay, or you may say that the root lies between pi and 3 pi by 2 also, doesn't matter. Okay, and this is a larger interval, so you may take more iterations. This is a smaller interval, you may take less iterations. Either you may say that root lies between pi to 3 pi by 2, or you may say that the root lies between 5 pi by 4 and 3 pi by 2. Okay, so which one we shall take? Okay, so you write like this clearly. So it is changing from negative to plus infinity means there is an angle between 5 pi by 4 to 3 pi by 2 at which it is going to attain positive value. So that means in between negative to positive, definitely there is a 0 because there is no other discontinuity after pi by 2. The other discontinuity will be at pi by 2 only. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
So clearly the smallest positive root of the smallest positive root of tan x minus x equal to 0 lies in the interval, okay. Shall I write a 5 pi by 4 to 3 pi by 2? Okay, so let us start with midpoint of this interval. What is the midpoint of 5 pi by 4 and 3 pi by 2? You tell me in terms of real number. Use your calculator and tell me the midpoint of 5 pi by 4 and 3 pi by 2. Or you may take some approximate value also. You may take pi equal to 22 by 7 and do the calculations. You just give to with one decimal value is sufficient. 0 point something. Is this not 11 pi by 4?
6.28, sir.
11, is it not 11 pi by 4? Midpoint.
8.63938.
8.635, sir.
8.63. Okay, so shall we start with 8.5? We'll start with 8.5.
Sir, the midpoint should be 11 pi by 8.
11 pi by 8.
That is 4.3.
5 pi by 4 plus 3 pi by 2. 4 is the LCM.
Divided by 2.
Oh, midpoint. Okay, divided by 2. No, correct. So it has to be divided with 2 again, right?
4.3.
How much?
4.3.
So let us start with 4.3. Okay, so right. So start with 4.3 and apply Newton-Raphson method. So what is first, find out the derivatives. So f of x equal to be the initial approximation. To the smallest positive root. This is an important method. That's why I'm spending time on Newton-Raphson method. Okay. So f of x is equals to tan x minus x. What is its derivative? Derivative of tan x is
Secant square x.
secant square x minus 1. Secant square x minus 1. So set your angle to radians. Secant square x minus 1. All of you set your angle to radians and then apply Newton's iterative formula. Okay, so xn plus 1 is equals to xn minus f of xn by f dash of xn equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay, so what is f of x naught? X naught equal to 4.3.
Minus 2.01415.
01415. Did is your angle in radians?
Yes, sir.
Okay, f dash of x naught.
Minus 12.61821.
61821. Okay, f of x naught by f dash of x naught equal to 4.3 minus 12.61821, right? What is this value? Minus by minus plus. Are these values correct? F and f dash?
Four point 14037.
14037. Any mistake in the calculation will lead us
038, sir.
which one?
X1 value, sir.
038. Four point 14038. F of x1, f dash of x1.
Minus 2.58712.
F dash of x1.
0.16682.
That means you are getting a positive value. So x2 is equals to minus of minus plus. What is x2 value?
So the value for x2 is 19.64
19,
double it. Yes, I'm
19,
getting
huh?
it there.
Are the angles set in radians? See, you notice that our f of x naught is minus 2 point something. Magnitude is not less than 1. You see? Okay. So you may get a divergent sequence because of this initial approximation. See, x naught equal to 4.3. And here f of x1, the magnitude increased again. Hmm? So what is, you just tell me that value. Using x2 you will find out one more point, okay, so that it will be an experience for us, okay, about choosing the initial approximation. Okay, so what is x2 value? Please tell me. 19 point
6488.
6488. 6488. Okay, so that's what you choose. You using x2, you please find the x3. If it is that is even more bigger, then you have to change the initial approximation. Okay, 19.64. Please repeat. 19.64.
883.
883. You just tell me what is x3. Okay, so that we need to redo this problem by sufficiently choosing the closer value. Just do it in the rough work and Is it even more larger value?
Yes, I'm getting it as 80.8185, sir.
So that means what? It is a divergent sequence. Okay. So this initial approximation is leading us to a divergent sequence. Okay. So that means it is not a good initial approximation. Okay. It is not sufficiently close. It is not sufficiently close to the exact root. What about 4.5? 4.4? What is tan 4.4? You see once.
Sir, if we take 4.4, the value for f of x is minus 1.3036, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Minus 4.4. So minus 1.30. Okay. So the value magnitude is somewhat is decreased, right? So let us take 4.5.
0.13733, sir.
Am I right? So I think it is less than 1. Magnitude is less than 1, right? So I think you could start with 4.5. Okay. So just to 0.2 decimals change. See what will be the effect. So tell me this value. F of 4.5 is 0.13733. F dash of x naught secant square minus 1. So how do you write secant square? 1 by cos square, right?
So it is 0.22636, sir.
0.22636. Okay. When you are using the calculator, I think secant must be seen as 1 by cos square. Secant must be seen as 1 by cos, right? So 0.22636. Fine. Then compute x1.
Sir, the value for f dash x naught is 0.0226. It's not
0
double
double
2.
two.
Yes, sir.
0.02236.
636.
36 636.
636, sir.
I think 5 decimals only sufficient. No, 0.2263.
63, sir, then 63.
Yeah. What is this value?
Sir, f dash of x naught is 21.50485.
I don't know why you are getting different values. Secant square x minus 1 means what? This has to be 1 by cos square x minus 1 only, no? So you take cos x first. What is cos 4.5? Cos 4.5. Okay. Square it. Then reciprocate. And take subtract 1.
We can do tan square of x.
How come tan square? This derivative is secant square x minus 1 only, no?
That is tan square x.
Haha, okay, okay. Yeah. That is tan
LCM.
square x only. Yeah. This is tan square only. 1 plus tan square is secant. So this is tan square x. This is fine. So this is 21.504485 you are getting, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 21.50485. Yeah, tan x. Okay, so tan. Yeah. Okay, so then why this much deviation? So 21.50485. So what is this value then?
4.49361.
4.49361. Compute this one. 4.49361. Store in the value A. And I want tan A minus A. So tan A minus A. Is it 0.00405?
Yes, sir.
And what is that? F dash tan of A equal to square root. Is it 20.22897? Okay, so compute x2. X2 is x1 minus f of x1 by f dash of x1. X1 is what? 4.49361. This is 0.00405 divided by 20.22897. See, if you can update this value in A, if you can update this value in B, if you can update this value in C, simply have to find out A minus of B divided by C. That's it. You don't need to substitute the values every time. A minus B divided by C. What is x2 value?
4.4934.
4.49340.
So you just want one more calculation. So what is that value? So that is minus 0.00019. Huh? F of x2. Am I right?
00089.
8 9 tan A minus A kada. Check once. 4.49340, right? Minus 0.00019 I got. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And it's a derivative 20.18893. 18890. What is the simplified value?
$4.49341.
So we got 4 decimal place of accuracy. Okay. So now you see you got a convergent sequence, right? So with small change in the value, you the divergent sequence becoming a convergent sequence, right? That's why I said your initial approximation must be sufficiently closer to the exact root. So that's why you choose spend some time to choose the initial approximation. Make sure that if your initial functional value is magnitude of the initial functional value is less than 1. If that is the case, you are most likely to get a convergent sequence.
Sir,
Hmm.
sir,
Tell me.
I took X naught as 4.3.
4.
The initial.
4.3, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I got the same answer.
But somebody said divergent sequence previously.
No, sir, I'm getting it as 4.4934.
Okay, so when we are writing the program, no, so we shall check with the different values and compare the functional values with it. Okay. So if you are getting with 4.3 is also a convergent sequence, means the calculation must have wrong. That is what I can conclude.
Yes, sir. It's like I got 9 iterations.
Okay, how many iterations you took?
9, sir.
9 iterations, huh?
Yes, sir.
9 iterations. Okay.